Use. Let's get right into it. So, making change in your life can be super, super difficult. And because of this, it takes a strategic plan, the same way you would guide your business and grow your business from the infant stages of conception to going to full manifestation and full production. Your goals, your transformative goals, specifically pertaining to your body, should be dealt with the same way. So for me, with my experience, my years of experience here in New York, I always tell people it's crazy. I've hit the 18,000 mark as far as total hours that I've dedicated towards helping changing people's lives. Now, what helped me go from being a good trainer to a great trainer, confidant, companion is the fact that I understood where each and one of my clients wanted to go. Now, what is one of the ways that I did that? I assessed the situation. Okay. So by assessing the situation, I was able to see a few trends. I was able to see where a lot of people would fall short as it pertained to dedicating towards or establishing a set goal, actually going the distance with that goal and coming full circle and completing that goal. Now, one concept that I learned were SMART goals. Okay, it's something that not only can be applied on your to your personal fitness journey, but also something that can be applied to your lifestyle, whether it be trying to establish a meaningful relationship with somebody, whether it be you going off on your entrepreneurial journey. You can always use these principles that we will go over, as long as you understand it. So, SMART is actually an acronym. Each letter of the word has its different meaning, different definition, and different application. Now, the first one, S. SMART, the S, means specific. When you are setting a goal, you want to make sure that you're as specific as possible when you establish what you say that you want. I'll give some examples that are not as specific and some that will push you kind of in the right direction. Those of you that are following along with the workshop, with the worksheet, please feel free to click to the second page of it. I have a few questions there that we'll go over. So, a specific example, or a not so specific example would be I want to lose weight. Okay. I want to lose weight is very vague. Yes, it is a goal, but it does not fully define exactly what you will do. All right. So for me, I always want to present not only the goal of losing weight or weight loss, but also say, how much do you want to lose? Okay. When you put specific, tangible details behind the actual goal, it channels in exactly what you want to do so that you're clear on what you need to do. Okay. So on your sheet, some of the questions that I ask my clients are listed there. What exactly do you want to accomplish? Why is the goal important? Who's going to be involved in this goal? Where is it located? Right. So that could be weird, but you can say, hey, I want to go to the gym 5 days a week. Okay. What gym do you want to go to? So I want to which resources or limits are involved? Okay. These are all tools that you can use to kind of zone in more on your goal, whether it be weight loss, whether it be weight gain, muscle growth, whether it be a performance goal if you're an athlete, or if you're a novice and you just want to step out on a limb and say, hey, I want to get healthier. I want to be able to walk without getting tired. Right? I don't want my feet hurting after mile 1. Okay, so that is your specific. That's how you're able to be specific with your goal. To start asking yourself these questions so that you can actually dig deeper and add more detail to the actual physical goal that you want to go towards. Now, the second thing is measurable. So the M is measurable. And it kind of relates to the specific, right? So I mentioned weight loss goal. How much weight do you want to lose? Okay. When you add those numbers to the actual goal at hand, it allows it to be manageable. The quote that I like using, and I use it time after time with all of my clients, with friends, family, regardless of what we're doing, is if you have a goal, you cannot manage what you don't quantify, right? This is a business concept. Okay. How do you know how much to spend if you don't know what you have in your bank? Okay. And this is extremely important, not only for just an absolute weight loss goal, but when you talk about things such as how many calories am I burning or how many calories should I burn, a lot of keywords that get thrown around are associated with metabolism. What's my metabolism? My metabolism is slow or it's fast. A lot of people don't understand what that means. But if you say, all right, well, look, your metabolism can be quantified numerically with a number, which we will go in a later class, but it then allows you to say, okay, if that number is now measurable, if I say whether it be I want to lose 50 pounds, or if you say, well, I know for a fact every single day I'm walking 20,000 steps, which is 10 miles, which is 1,000 calories, you then know how much you can or cannot eat depending on that, right? So once you put quantitative data and associate that with your actual goal, it becomes measurable and it becomes manageable. A few questions that associate with that so that you can get a clearer picture are listed in the slide. I'll read them off. How much? How many? How will I know when it's accomplished, right? So think of this as the tangible assessment that you actually do when you're starting your actual goal or you're starting your actual journey. So we now have specific. I want to lose weight. I want to lose 50 pounds for the wedding in June. Okay. I want to lose 50 pounds in 2 years. I want to lose 100 pounds in 12 months, right? Make it as specific and then as measurable as possible, something that you can actually wrap a tape measure around it. You can go and compare it to what you may see on the scale day one versus day three or day four or day five. And then you will be able to actually establish what that quantified measurable data is. The next thing is the relevance. How relevant is your goal? Okay. Now, this can sometimes be blurry when it comes to me actually interacting with my clients, right? So I'll get a person and they say, I have a 9 to 5. I'm working extremely hard. Sometimes I'm asked to work 4 or 5 hours when I get home from work, right? I want to do a bodybuilding contest and compete at the highest possible level. Now, for me, I would first tell them, are you sure that this is what you want to do? Is this something that um, is actually going to enhance your life, right? Is it going to be worth your while? Or is it something that's going to be so tedious that you are not even able to follow through with it, right? Is it relevant in your life, right? For me, I always like attaching goals to things that are going to affect you for the long term. For example, um, I need to get rid of diabetes. Okay, that's extremely relevant. Why is it relevant? Because diabetes can kill you, right? If it's too extreme, you're forced to take insulin. Your body cannot regulate sugar properly. Your weight will fluctuate, heat flashes, passing out. A lot of negative health implications are associated with that. Okay, so to me, that is more of a relevant goal when you are trying to etch out what you want to do over the next couple months or over the given span of your life. A few questions with that that you all can kind of when you're actually exploring this specific topic is, as I said earlier, is it worthwhile? Is this the right time? Right? You just had a newborn. Is it actually even feasible for you to say, hey, I want to compete at the master level for the USA track and field. I have this newborn. We don't have help at home. It's me and my wife. My wife and I, we're both working. Right. Your time commitment towards that actual goal is not even possible. It's not relevant in your life. It's not going to enhance your life. And if anything, it's going to make it more stressful. Okay. Does this match other efforts and needs? Okay. When you set a goal towards, let's go back to the bodybuilding goal. If you're somebody who you feel as if you have to go out to happy hour to mingle with your coworkers after work and drink and have alcohol and eat processed food and not pack your meals before you go to work, before you embark on your day every day, or you're not dedicating time towards meal prepping because you have expected dinners and things like that. Maybe the goal that you're picking isn't for you at this point in your life. That's not saying that in the future you could not go towards it and spearhead that particular goal, but given all circumstances as of right now, it's not at all relevant to you in your life. Okay. The other one is, am I the right person to reach the goal? Okay. Does your body type even match the goal that you're going for? Okay. Now, I think a lot of people will say, oh, genetics will put you at a predisposition towards achieving certain things Whereas me, I kind of sit borderline, and I think it always depends. The last question is something that, like I said, I apply this not only to fitness goals, but also life goals. So is this applicable in the current socioeconomic environment, right? I would even relate this to saying, do you even have the money or resources to actually support your goal? Right? If you are somebody who, say, for instance, is starting one or two, three, maybe four, even four companies, right? All of your resources are going towards that, towards funding that business, towards paying employees, towards research and development. You're not even going to have the economic resources to actually fulfill buying $400, $500, $600 worth of groceries every single month, and then also buying the containers to put them in, buying the proper supplements, because this stuff gets expensive. So if you can't dedicate those resources, it may not be relevant for you. The next thing is, can you put a time constraint on it? So sometimes the time constraint that we put on our goal is far too short for us to even achieve the goal. Not saying that we will not eventually get there, but one issue that I always see is, particularly when it applies to weight loss goals, people don't give themselves enough time, and they think just because the science says you should be able to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week, that in 10 weeks they're going to be able to lose 20 pounds without taking actual consideration into the learning curve, which takes time, which takes taking into account travel dates, unexpected travel dates. But if you put realistic time constraints on it, you can do away with some of the unexpected schedule changes or conflicts. But I think making sure that you're always conservative with the time constraint that you have will take off a lot of the stress that's associated with actually completing that goal in a timely fashion. So a few questions that you can ask yourself when you're writing out your goals and you're trying to put this into manifestation is, when? Is it 6 months? Is it 6 days? Is it 6 weeks? When can I start? Will I start today? All of these are relevant questions that you can ask yourself when you're actually going into your transformative journey. So in order to say I want to lose weight, it's not just, do I want to lose weight? No. When I apply these rules, it's, I want to lose 20 pounds. Right now, I'm starting at 196 pounds, which means I want to get to 176 pounds, at least 176 pounds, by the time in which I'm teaching in Dominican Republic. Now, if we say that gives me December, January, February, March, April, that's 5 months, okay, or 20 weeks, which is right on the money, okay? So in 20 weeks, I want to lose 20 pounds, okay? Is it doable? It's 100% doable, which makes it relevant. Is there a time constraint? 100%. There's 20 weeks. Is it measurable? Yes, that's 20 pounds. I can use not only a scale, but if I wanted to add in a tape measure, circumference measurements around my stomach, around the butt, around the chest and shoulders, that's something that I can have definitive answers for. And obviously it's specific. So it's that easy. So next, one of the most important things that, outside of setting specific detailed goals, is making sure that you have the right support systems. Now, people throw around the word support all the time. Well, I'll be able to accomplish this if I have the right support. Okay, but support is a very general term. So what we're going to do with this next segment is categorize the type of support systems, which I have 4. Okay, what you're doing right now, you're already exercising one of your support systems, which is educational support. There's so much information that you can actually get lost sifting through all the websites, all the journals, all the scholarly articles, all of the videos on jacked up, yoked up men and women who are telling you what to do, right? And then you end up being more confused when you start, more confused in the end than when you actually started searching for, what supplements should I take? Right? Everybody has a list of the top 10 supplements, right? So with this course, one of the things that I want to do is give you as much educational support as possible. And so if there's any questions that anybody may have, please feel free to join in on the conversation, because with your efforts, I will be able to continue to give you tailored educational support throughout the next. That's something that I'm going to be offering, obviously complimentary of Be Exceptional. The next, Let's go to instrumental support. What would be described as your instrumental support? Think tangible items. Think a gym, a physical location that you have to go to. Think a physical workout plan that you're going to do. Think a food scale so that you can actually weigh and track your food and log your food effectively. Think other apps that you can use that are applicable to your actual goal, your SMART goal that you set. A lot of these instrumental support tools are things that you physically can touch. You physically can touch. So as you're writing out and filling out this worksheet, what I want you to do is after you have your goal in mind, go back through and write down the tangible items that you may need. Right now in the Be Exceptional store, we have food scales, we have booty bands, we have workout apparel. All these things will help propel you towards where you want to be. The third thing is emotional support. Now, if you're somebody like me, you take your body through a roller coaster, the Texas Giant, throughout the year. Within the 4 seasons, you may go through 6 different transformations to stay steadfast on the goals that you want to accomplish if emotionally you're not motivated to actually go through with what you committed to, right? I've dealt with individuals who they'll go home and they're like, look, man, like this is tough. You know, I'm having a hard time actually following the meal plan that you gave me because, my wife does all the cooking. She doesn't really understand. It makes it hard for me. I don't want to get frustrated with her. It's hard for me to actually connect with her at this point in my life because emotionally I'm detached from my actual experience because she's not supporting me in that way. But it can also be like, look, man, I'm carb cutting and I'm very angry. I'm very angry right now. Or I'm very irritable. You need people around you that can support you properly and not take the natural reaction towards carb cutting. A lot of my bodybuilders, physique competitors, bikini models, y'all understand what this is. When you get hangry, when you're hangry, which is hungry and angry, if you don't have the right people around you that understand what you're going through, it's going to be clashing of the clans, right? So that emotional support is just as important as the instrumental support, which is just as important as the educational support. On to the next one, which kind of relates to that emotional support. And I really think that these two go hand in hand, which is companionship and companion support. Nobody at any point in our history ever did something great by themselves. They always had a companion or a group of individuals who have their eyes set in the same direction so that you can always look to your left or look to your right and find somebody who is willing to travel along with you on your goal. Always make sure that I encourage each and every one of my clients to find at least one other person so that they can then have a team. Sometimes that other person is not a friend. Sometimes that other person is a therapist. Sometimes that other person may be a doctor, a medical doctor who can, take care of all the analytics, all of the biological, biometric data, right? But the more people that you have in your corner when you're going through a transformative journey can act as support. We can act as cheerleaders, right? If nothing feels better than having one of your best friends or a close family member giving you support 24/7. Oh man, you look so good, man. Like your neck, I can see it in your neck. Because oftentimes when we go through our journey ourselves, we look in the mirror every single day, and it's hard for us. It's hard for us to see if we're actually seeing what everybody else is seeing, or if everybody else is actually seeing what we're seeing. So when you have that companionship support, it gives you 10 times the affirmation that you would get if you just looked at yourself and said, yeah, I see that little ab, or yeah, I see the little bicep. You get that. And I think it's super important. So let's go back over and recap the 4 systems of support. We have our instrumental support, which is your tangible items that you use for supporting your journey. You have your emotional support, which are the ways in which you're able to alleviate yourself from maybe negative thoughts going through your process, sort out maybe any confusion that you have. You can do this with an individual, or you can do this in a diary. The next thing is educational or informational support. Seek out good information. Most people stop going towards their goal because they have faulty information that is not rooted in science. Get your information straight. Hopefully I can be that source of information for you over the next couple months, given that the information and topics that I pick are something that relate to you and your goal. or that the topics of discussion that you guys um, post in the comments are something that we can elaborate on when I do my next masterclass. Last part is companionship. Find allies. Find allies. They can support you so that when you want to look behind you and look back into your past, they tell you to keep looking forward. Okay. Whereas when you look to the right and you feel like slowing down, you get motivated because you see the progress that they're making because they're looking to you for the same support. Those are the four systems of support. Now, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for joining. Thanks for the amazing questions. Hopefully, I answered everything. If you have any questions immediately after, feel free to reach out to us. I'm Robert Palmer, and this is the Be Exceptional Masterclass dedicated towards the lifestyle of health, wellness, and fitness. Thank you.